Hiya, friends. So, when we start to come to mindfulness and meditation, there are so many different techniques that you can use, and I'm just going to introduce a little visualization. And I just want to bring up before we close our eyes, dandelions, when they get to the point where they've got the seeds and little fluffs, and you poof, or at least as a kid I did, I still do every once in a while, even though people are like, no, dandelions are going to grow everywhere. Oh no, not this beautiful flower that pollinators love and that keep them alive. Anyway, that's a different discussion. Every time a thought comes into your mind, I want you to imagine it being a little dandelion puff. Blow it away. And we're going to use the breath as our anchor point today. Okay? So, find your nice, tall, long spine. Close the eyes. Take just a few moments to tune into the physical body. We do have to have a little bit of muscular contraction here to sit up tall and lengthen that spine. But there might be some extra things turned on that don't have to be. So if you have muscles of the face, tightened, clenched, furrowed, maybe you can release those. Jaws can soften away from ears. Front of hips can soften, and anything else that you notice in your body. Those are just the biggest contenders for most bodies. And then bring your awareness to the breath. And it's particularly the belly. So we're potentially in different positions to gravity, right? But the one thing that's true for all of us is when we inhale, if our belly is soft, when we inhale, our belly moves away from the spine, and when we exhale, the belly moves back into the spine. If that is not happening for you, and you're an inverse breather, that is going to be your practice. You're going to try and see if you can't get the belly to move away from the spine on the inhale and move back. For those of us where that happens naturally, don't try to do anything. Just let that happen. Allow it. Now already your mind has probably wandered off a few times. Right? So if the mind has gone somewhere else, imagine that thought being that dandelion puff. And all of that can happen silently inside of your head. You don't have to make the noise like me. You can if you like it. Come back to the breath. Notice the rise and the fall of the belly. The question with meditation is never, can you rid yourself of all thoughts? Right? That's not the practice. The practice is knowing that the mind is going to have thoughts come in and trying not to attach to them, to be able to just, like that dandelion puff, that thought away, and come right on back to today. The breath being in the belly with our awareness, observing the rise and the fall of the belly. And if that thought has a lot of energy behind it, it might keep coming back, and it might come back rapidly. That's okay. Every time it does, and come back to the breath. The human mind has the ability to do that, right? Sometimes we have to practice, we have to train. But how amazing is that a thought can come into the brain and we can realize it's leading us down a path that might have some negative qualities or whatever that might be, and we can just that thought away. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhale. Exhale, bow your head in. Give yourself some kindness and compassion and gratitude for showing up and doing this practice. I think of all the practices in yoga, this concentration, dhyana, or meditation, right? I think this is the hardest for many of us. So congratulations, you showed up. Namaste, friends. And just like anything that you practice, the more you practice it, the more skilled you become, right? So keep showing up, friends. It will pay off, I promise.